Sure. Yeah, that was such a fun game. They're a good team, and we knew it would be a great game, but I just felt like, especially as it started to go back and forth a little bit, really fun game, and tough to give up a goal with less than a second left there in the second. They did a great job to win that draw and get a stick on that puck. But just loved our response. Thought we had maybe our best third period of the year. So just keep taking big steps in terms of how we want to play tough, physical. Created a bunch of chances too and want to put more away. But just really like the way we played today. Not easy to kill a 4-on-3 in overtime. Those are maybe the toughest thing to kill. So just so much good, and love the way we're playing right now, and really creating an identity of being really tough to play against, frustrating, physical, and also creating on the other side. So I thought it was a really fun game.
Hi, Coach. First off, how did you feel that the team played today, and were there any specific things that you were working on improving during the 4-day practice week?
Yeah, I thought we played really well today. Liked our game, especially liked the third period. And all week, honestly, we worked on just playing fast and, being better in transition. And I felt like we were, created some odd-numbered rushes for ourselves, and thought our D were moving pucks quick through the neutral zone. Forwards were ready to have their toes up ice and play fast. So, some of the things we worked on, I think we did a good job of, and really liked the way we played.
Awesome. And then Ainsley Tuffy had another excellent game today and has been nominated for the National Women's Hockey Goalie of the Year. Do you have any comment on her play and her progression throughout her time at Harvard under your tutelage?
She's played great, yeah. I think last year as a first-year player, played about half our games, did a really nice job, got great experience, had a great year, and I just think this year she really took off. Probably about halfway through the first semester, started playing really good hockey, and she's had a great second semester. Just great performance after great performance. She's always ready to go and super athletic in there. So we're proud of her that she's getting that recognition. But I think, for us, what's important is just getting wins. In today's case, getting a good tie, and thought she was ready for us, and has just been playing really good hockey.
Awesome. And then my next question was, sitting at the 9 seed in the ECAC, what do you feel like the team needs to do to get better, to put yourself in a position to get a home seed, to home games for the playoffs?
Yeah, we started the semester saying we want to host. That was one of our goals. Obviously, when we get to the playoffs, then it's just going to be about winning games no matter where we're playing. But we're still in position. I think now with getting a point and a half, I think we're 4 points back of St. Lawrence. So it's kind of a battle between us and them for that 8th spot. And, that's what we want. I think that'd be huge to finish in 8th and be hosting. We can only control half of that. We can't control how St. Lawrence plays. So I think for us, it's taking as many points as we can and really focusing on playing the way we want to play, and thought we did a good job of that today. And taking a point and a half from Quinnipiac was huge to help us do that. But 3 games left, and we're still in the hunt. So that's what we're focused on.
Got one more for you.
Sure.
This is a team that you guys have been trying to get by for a really long time. Been so close so many times, played a lot of battles, even earlier this year, the playoff game last year. When you talk about progression and meeting marks and making passing milestones, I know you don't want to point to an individual opponent, but this feels like a big step in the right direction. Can you just talk about the response from your team and how this really feels for the group?
Yeah, I think it's, like you said, you maybe don't focus on specific opponents, but I do think, Quinnipiac, I think Cass does a great job. She's a great coach, and their program has really set a standard in the ECAC to be making NCAA tournaments, on the cusp of NCAA tournaments every year. So they are a program that, I think we can learn a lot from. And, when you look back a couple of years, I think our first year in 3 games combined, it was not close. None of the 3 games were close. And so I think it is kind of a representation of how much closer it's gotten over the last couple of years. We had them the first year in the playoffs, and they, it wasn't a close game. And then last year we go there for the playoffs, it's 2-0. We almost had the first one. It was a pretty tight game. And then, like you said, this year, when we went there, I thought we played well. They played better, and they did a great job to hold the lead in the third. But, we talked about, hey, we're going to see them in 3 weeks. We want to be a much better team by then, and I felt like we were today. And, like you're saying, it does show the progression. I think of every travel partner now, we've taken points from every travel partner this year. This was the set of teams that we hadn't done that with yet. So it does feel like we keep taking steps, and there's a lot of ways to measure that. But for us, probably the most important is just how we're playing right now, and to an identity that, we want to be a team that come playoff time, like you don't want to play us, and that's what we're working toward. And I thought they still played a great game. They're tough to score on. We still only came away with one despite having a handful of chances. So obviously want to put more pucks away, but I do think it's a good gauge of where we're at, and we're definitely making steps forward for sure.
One final one for me. You mentioned it a couple times now. The offense was clicking, creating a lot of high danger chances, in a lot of dangerous spots. Passes were connecting, plays were kind of drawn out. It looked very clean. Just want to ask you about the progression from that group. It feels like it's starting to come together now at the right time. And what do you see from that side on that side of the ice?
Yeah, I think we're working and playing the right way, and that's really how you create offense. It's not necessarily cheating the offense or cherry picking on the other blue line. Like, it's a lot of work, especially in college hockey. I think their goalie is one of the best goalies in the country too. So, it's to create those kind of looks was great for us. And it's a long time coming in terms of the work that goes into it, to be playing 5-player offense and all in motion, all involved, and part of it, we've got lines right now that are clicking, seem to have good chemistry. So that's what you look for at this time of year, and feeling good about how we're playing offensively.